focus here, we're going to talk about the China news that brought the market to a brand new all-time high this morning. Talk a little bit about Qualcomm's earnings beat and why I'm going to be focusing on the semiconductor stocks. Then we'll take a look at a potential swing trade entry for Netflix, and then I'll do a quick recap of my Amazon trade. So with that being said, let's get into it. Alright guys, so we got some more China trade war news this morning, and as I mentioned, this news is bringing the market to a brand new all-time high. So take a look here at the headlines. China says it has agreed with the US to cancel existing trade tariffs in phases. So if we take a look here at the charts, you can see the SPY here pre-market making a brand new all-time high. So the key levels for you day traders to focus on today. As far as support goes, I'm going to be paying close attention to 308. Now 308 is the previous all-time high. We hit 308 a few days ago, pulled back a little bit, and on this news are breaking above that level here this morning. So putting aside, the market's ability to move higher today, that's the first question I'm going to ask myself is, can we simply hold above that previous all-time high at 308? Now in terms of resistance, you can see here heading into the open, we've rallied up towards 308.95. That is currently the pre-market all-time high. So for those of you that are day trading today, those are a few key levels that I would focus on. The market's ability to move higher today is going to be dependent on whether or not it can break that 308.95. And the market's ability to not roll over today is going to be based upon whether or not it can hold above that previous all-time high at 308. And you can see, guys, the clear resistance there at that level. So you're going to have your watch list this morning. You're going to have a handful of names that you're looking for. Use the direction of the index here as your compass, and you take those key levels to get a feel for which way the whole bigger picture of the market is moving. If we can break above 308.95, you could see the market continue to run nicely to the upside here today. If we start dropping below that previous all-time high at 308, you could see a little bit of sloppiness, and you could see, this whole after hours gap here really be a big nothing. So for you day traders, guys, we're gapping up all-time highs here after some China trade war news. Key support at the previous all-time high of 308, and key resistance here at that new pre-market all-time high at 308.95. And as you guys know, we're in the dead middle right now of earnings season. So last night we have earnings from Qualcomm, and you can see Qualcomm is making a pretty big move here to the upside this morning after beating the expectations for this most recent quarter. So when one stock in a particular group, in this case Qualcomm being a semiconductor stock, when they post positive earnings, sometimes, not always, but sometimes that can have a positive impact on other names in that same group. So with that being said, and with Qualcomm beating earnings expectations and gapping to the upside today, I'm not going to really focus on this name so much as another name here in the semiconductor group. And that name that I'm going to focus on here is NVIDIA. Now keep in mind, guys, NVIDIA has earnings a week from today on the 14th of November. Definitely something to keep in mind, but what I'm going to be looking for here today potentially is a move above this very clear resistance level at 212. Now, you got to be freaking patient, guys. You don't need to come in here and try to jump into this thing before 212. Regardless of the fact that Qualcomm beat earnings, this is obviously a very clear level of resistance for NVIDIA right now, despite, how damn strong this thing has been. So I will be watching a little bit for a move above 212 today, but I urge you guys, if you're looking at NVIDIA, you're trying to make a play here on this Qualcomm earnings, to be patient. You're running the risk here if you jump in early of jumping into calls, jumping into a long position beneath 212, and you could easily see things rally up to 212 today, but once again the selling pressure comes in and they just knock this thing right back onto its ass. So Qualcomm, strong move here this morning. They beat earnings. We got a really clear level of resistance here for NVIDIA. Be patient. If this thing can start to break and rip through 212, it could make another nice move to the upside. So just keep in mind we do have earnings coming up for NVIDIA. However, it's been really strong, and for you day traders, that break above 212, if it does take place, could give you a small window of opportunity today to get in there, get your fair share of profit, and then get the hell out of there. Alright, so let's take a look real quick, guys, at Netflix. So Netflix has got a handful of closes here as of late above the 15 and the 50 period moving average. So unlike Apple, Facebook, Google, and Nvidia, Netflix is potentially beginning a brand new trend where those other names have already rallied like crazy. So with that being said, I like to get long entries in stocks as they remount the 50 and the 15 period moving average, but I'm an option seller. So with that being said, I'm not looking to buy calls here. Rather, I want to short puts and sell a put spread as far below, those two moving averages as I can. So one trade idea, guys, I'm looking at here today. And if you're not familiar with credit spreads or option selling, you can check out the rest of the videos here on my channel, or you can make the small investment in yourself and come join the Focus Trades family for $10 a month. The first 10 days are free, so that should be a no-brainer. But what I'm looking to do here today, guys, is I'll use the December 6th expiration options. Gives me about 30 days, and I'm going to sell a put spread. So I'm going to come down here way below those two moving averages at 270, and I'm going to short the 270 puts. As protection, I'll buy the 267.5s, and it'll cost me about $5,000 to initiate that trade. And if you're familiar with the way that credit spreads work, I'll make my $1,200 max profit as long as Nvidia doesn't drop and close below 270 by the expiration date. So I'm looking to take this thing to the upside here. I'm thinking that now that we're above the 15 and the 50, we're also sitting at a level that has historically seen some big accumulation for Netflix. I want to get positioned at the beginning of this brand new potential trend, but I don't want to buy calls and deal with the day-to-day bullshit and stress that we know that brings. So get the key levels right here, looking at 280 is my line in the sand. I'm going to come all the way down here a good 6 to 7% below the current price and short those 270 puts. Once I put that put spread on, doesn't really matter so much what Netflix does next. It can move higher, it can go sideways, it could even move lower. As long as it doesn't drop and close below 270 by that expiration date, then those puts on my put spread are going to go to zero, because that's what happens without the money options. Those fuckers go to zero. They'll go to zero, and I'll collect $1,200 of profit. And this is the same exact trade, guys, I've got right now on Amazon. So I've got a put spread on Amazon right now that expires next Friday. Now, if Amazon begins to move here over the next few days, I'm probably going to collect, the $1,000 paycheck from this spread. But the same thought process, guys. We broke back above the 15. We broke back above the 50. Things are looking good. I want to get positioned here for the potential beginning of a new trend instead of buying calls, right? And now, mind you, I took this position here on Monday. If I bought calls on Monday, kind of getting my ass kicked. But instead, I sold the put spread all the way down here at 1765. So as long as Amazon doesn't drop and close below 1765 by next Friday's expiration, both of the puts in my put spread are going to go to zero. I'll walk away with about $1,100 of profit. And we can see Amazon, much like everything else, making a nice pop here to the upside this morning. So as far as swing trading goes, Netflix and Amazon are my primary focuses right now. We look at names like an Apple. We look at names like a Facebook and Nvidia. They're kind of too far gone, guys, right? I like to get positions on pullbacks near or around either the 50 or the 15 period moving average. So if you look at Apple here, obviously, I'm waiting for a pullback. As far as swing trading Nvidia goes, right, we got earnings next week. Not trying to get in front of that. So Apples, the Facebooks, the Nvidias, they've already made nice moves where the Amazon and the Netflix here are potentially brand new trends. So that's my focus for today, guys, right? Really have had a nice week, kind of ignoring the day-to-day price action, just waiting to collect that paycheck from Amazon. But we'll take one look here one more time at the S&P 500. There's the key range for today, guys. Nice move here after hours into the open on some China trade war news. 309 is going to be key resistance up here, and the key support at 308, which is the previous all-time high, is definitely something you want to keep an eye on. So I wish you guys the best of luck today. For those of you in the Focus Trades group, I'll see you guys in about an hour for our pre-market live stream. And if you're not in the group already, click the link down below, guys, on this page, and I'll see you soon.